Hi guys, in this video we are going to be decoding the entire chapter 7 from the Bhagavad Gita. This is one of the most important chapters in the entire book because here Krishna reveals who he really is. And this is something that we all need to understand from a rational point of view and not think really artificially or supernaturally. Now, here Krishna understands and asks a very simple question to Arjuna after observing his mental state, and that is, who is God really? Who is the Supreme? And for that, Arjuna seems to be really confused in giving a proper answer. And that is why Krishna says that there are two distinct entities. There is a personal God and there is a universal God. And Krishna is nothing but just a personal God to an individual. It is just like how we use the boat to get to the other side of the shore. But when we get to the other side, the boat is no longer useful, as now we have to walk our way to live our life. That is the same distinction between the personal and the universal Lord. Now here Krishna in verse 13 of chapter 7 talks about and expresses his regret that none of his devotees have ever truly understood what he really represents and what he really means. Now for Krishna is a very popular god in the entire nation of India. And here there are people who chant his name. There are people who do a lot of pujas. There are people who do a lot of offerings, where Krishna himself says that whatever offering you do, even if it is a very small leaf that you offer with a proper heart, that is still considered as the highest offering. But many people seem to give bunch of money to Krishna, where he never asks that in the first place. So all this offering that we people give, we glorify his name, we come in front of a microphone and just keep shouting Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. But here Krishna asks just one question. Out of all the things that you think you're doing for me, have you ever for one day followed the teaching that I have mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita? For example, let's take every great person in the world, Sir Isaac Newton. When he died, he left behind the law of gravitational force. When we talk about Mahatma Gandhi, when he died, he gave freedom for India. And I can name so many other people. But when we talk about Krishna, his lasting legacy will always be the words and verses that he mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. Because we can disagree that Krishna is not a god, and we can agree that Krishna is a god. But regardless of both, it is not possible for a common man to mention the verses and the lines that is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. See, you cannot mention these things which are on a metaphysical level as a common man. This is something that is divine in nature. And Krishna, the way he talks, the way he approaches things, and most importantly, the way he understands himself, is someone who has gone beyond the human range. And he himself says that he is not God, but rather the Supreme speaks through him to Arjuna and thereby to mankind. You remember in one of the videos which you can see right here, where I spoke about the descending order of teaching. Here Krishna is nothing but a tool to get through that descending order of teaching. So here Krishna says, whatever devotion that you feel that you need to give, the highest form of devotion that you can do is just have a following towards my teaching. There is no point in image worship. Now, as you can see through the camera, here you see a Krishna photo, there you see another Krishna photo. There are Krishna photos throughout the house. And same in every Hindu house, you would have a lot of Krishna photos, and you would have a lot of people who do pujas. But Krishna asks simply for what? You do pujas and ask for a material gain in return. And that is why in this chapter, in verse 23, he asks another question by giving a very, very bold statement. He says that worshippers of other gods go to them, but my devotees come to me. Now here we are not promoting Krishna here. Here what Krishna really means through this verse in the Bhagavad Gita is, when you worship other gods, you are worshipping for a finite goal, such as I need this today, I need this tomorrow, and all these finite goals are either time bound or space bound. It is not going to be there for eternity. But Krishna says, any person who wishes for an infinite goal, he is my devotee. And that is why he says that my devotees come to me. It is not that Krishna is superior to another person. It is just that Krishna says the path for my devotees is different. And here, the moment we start comparing an individual with another individual, that is the day that we are doomed for destruction, because we have really not understood the message what Krishna has said. Because he is not saying that you are a devotee of Krishna, but you are a devotee of Krishna's message. This is very, very important, because there was one interview which I can give an example of Sachin Tendulkar, when he was asked, why do so many people love you in India? To which he responded very cheekily, where he said, people do not love me, they love my cricket. And that is the same verse that Krishna says through this particular statement, that you do not need to worship me or love me or offer anything to me, but you have to offer everything to yourself by worshipping the teaching that I gave you. And the lasting legacy that he has left behind in this 700 verse book covered across 18 chapters answers every single thing that we need to know about the human life from head to toe. And that is just the theme of the 7th chapter, where he truly answers where we really are. And we don't understand who Krishna is mainly because we are trapped in the illusion of an image such as this, but we do not go beyond this image and focus on who he really is. And that's why the Bhagavad Gita says, anything that is manifested in form of a form like this, that is not real. Anything that is unmanifested, something like your subconscious, that is the true reality of this entire universe. And that's the theme of this entire chapter 7 in the Bhagavad Gita, which is very important for us to understand who God really is. And by God, I mean the supreme and not just an individual deity. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, do give it a thumbs up button, and I will see you guys in the next episode. And as always, thank you for watching.